From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather, live at 5.
The dreary and soggy conditions continue on this Wednesday here across the Tennessee Valley. Here's a live look at the Arctic Air Skycam network. A bunch of gray out there, and light to moderate rain is falling here at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. 53 degrees in Lawrenceburg with a dew point of 52. South-southeast wind at 6 miles per hour. We'll slide down to the Shoals and check out the University of North Alabama shot here, looking back southeast toward Wilson Dam, and you can't really see it in the background because of the low clouds, the fog, and the rain falling. But this is the top Rivers Hall, 55 degrees with a dew point of 53 and an east wind at 8 miles per hour. You can see the rain falling onto the camera lens. It has been heavy at times over the past hour across northwest Alabama and southern middle Tennessee. As we switch over to Live Viper radar here, and I'll back my radar back up because the clicker wanted to advance too fast. But here we go. Heavier rain now east of I-65 that was coming across the area during the 4 o'clock hour. But you look back off to the west here and in northeast Mississippi, and rain is picking up in intensity once again. And that is shifting northeast toward our area for the evening. And this may have some of the heaviest rainfall rates that we've seen all day so far across the area. Meanwhile, temperatures are into the 50s across the region. We'll expand that radar view a little more, and you can see the heavy rain with embedded thunder back into east and northeast Mississippi, shifting right northeastward up into our area. It's knocking on the door of places like Red Bay and Cherokee and Waterloo now. It will be moving in shortly, and then expanding and spreading across northwest Alabama and up into southern middle Tennessee over the next couple of hours. And we expect that heavy rainfall potential to continue between now and about midnight or so before things shift off to the east of us. Maybe some localized heavy downpours with some rumbles of thunder. No severe storms expected, but as we get past midnight, things shift off to the east of the area. Maybe some localized street flooding until then as well. Cooler air behind this wave of heavy rain as we drop into the 40s around midnight, then eventually the 30s toward daybreak, and a few of us may flirt with getting just below freezing over southern middle Tennessee. I do think temperatures are a couple degrees warmer than what you see here, low to mid 30s, I think, for overnight lows over southern middle Tennessee, and mid to upper 30s over northwest Alabama. So I'm not really expecting issues with refreezing, because even in places where you do get temperatures to drop for your overnight lows near or below freezing, you're not going to be there for long. And the ground has been warm here lately, so we're not worried about roads refreezing or black ice or anything like that. We're not going to be below freezing long enough for that type of thing to happen. And tomorrow's a chilly day. Daytime highs into the 40s despite some partial sunshine, because we'll have a cooler air mass temporarily moving in behind this first wave of activity here, but that will be short-lived. We'll get down to the 20s tomorrow night for overnight lows, and then high pressure shifts off to the east. We start to get winds more out of the south and going into Friday. That means milder conditions, daytime highs back into the 50s. Overnight lows Friday night will be during the early evening in the lower 40s, and then temperatures climb overnight toward daybreak back into the upper 40s and lower 50s by sunrise on Saturday. A few showers overnight Friday night into Saturday morning. Those lift north of the area Saturday morning and midday, and there's actually the potential for a few breaks of sunshine on Saturday late morning into the afternoon as temperatures warm through the 60s, and several of us may get into the lower 70s. But a strong storm system pulls into the area late Saturday into Saturday night. That gives us the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms. We'll talk about that in detail here in just a moment. That front kicks on out of the area Sunday morning. Lingering showers come to an end Sunday morning, and then cooler air to follow, back to wintry temperatures as we head into next week. We'll talk about that here in just a moment as well. So counting the rainfall that we have coming this evening, and then the rain Saturday into Saturday night, we have another 2 to 3 to 2 to 4 inches of rain coming for our viewing area between this moment and Sunday morning, in addition to what we've already had, which has been upwards of 3 or so inches across North Alabama and 2 or so inches across southern middle Tennessee from earlier today and then when this stuff started yesterday. So we have additional rain here of 2 to 4 inches coming between tonight and the stuff coming on Saturday, so that will exacerbate the flooding problems. We do think there will be some minor river flooding here on the Tennessee River by the weekend, especially near Florence and Savannah. Tennessee Valley Authority has already mentioned that, in addition to the NWS River Forecast Agency. And then we do think there's some flash flooding potential as well Saturday. After all this rain we've had leading up to that, we'll have another likely 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain just on Saturday afternoon and Saturday night with that round of thunderstorms. I think that's when we'll be talking about flash flooding type potential versus the slower river flooding that we're watching for the next few days here. In addition, we're still watching that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms late Saturday afternoon into the overnight hours of Saturday night. It's an area-wide threat here across our region. Like we talked about yesterday, as a baseline minimum, we expect a line of severe thunderstorms after dark Saturday evening and overnight, with the potential for damaging straight-line winds, flash flooding, and the potential for spin-up tornadoes. And because of the soggy ground we have this week, it will be easy for the winds to knock down trees and power lines, a little bit easier than it otherwise would be, because the ground will be softened from the rain and the tree root systems will be weakened because of that. So this may be a little easier to cause damage than what it otherwise would be, but damaging straight line winds, flash flooding, and spin-up tornadoes possible with the line of thunderstorms after sunset Saturday evening and overnight. What we will be watching in addition to the main line of thunderstorms is from the late afternoon into the evening, the potential for individual supercells to possibly develop ahead of that line that would have an elevated type tornado threat. That's not a guarantee. We're still working out that potential, but it is a potential that we'll have to watch carefully. If there are any individual supercell thunderstorms ahead of the line, they would carry more of an elevated tornado threat. We're still working out the details to see whether that is likely or not, but it certainly is possible, and we will have to contend with that potential. So take the time to review your safety plans between now through Friday while you have time. Make sure you have multiple reliable ways of hearing warnings, including something that will wake you out of your sleep during the overnight hours, since a lot of this will be after dark. So temporarily chilly here for Thursday and a Thursday night. Warming Friday going into Saturday, near 70 or into the lower 70s for many areas going into Saturday, and then cooler air behind the front, wintry type temperatures going into next week. And you won't believe the tomfoolery that we've had to put on the 7-day for the middle of next week. We'll talk about that here in detail in just a moment. So your forecast for tonight: rain and embedded thunder this evening while we're still in the 50s. That clears out around midnight. The temperatures drop into the 30s toward daybreak. But again, even if you do slide near or just below freezing, you're not going to be there long enough to worry about any black ice or refreezing issues. That would be a very short-lived temperature, and then you warm back above freezing as we get the sun up on our Thursday morning. Mid to upper 30s across northwest Alabama and northeast Mississippi, but we don't hit that until daybreak. In the meantime, we're in the 50s through at least 10 p.m. to midnight as these showers and embedded thunder comes across the area with locally heavy rainfall. No severe storms, however, as this moves through. 7-day forecast looks like this from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. We're quiet. A break between storm systems Thursday. Partly cloudy skies. Cooler, though. Daytime highs in the mid-40s. Maybe a few folks in southern Tennessee in the lower 40s. Chilly for Thursday night with lows in the low to mid-20s. And then we start our warming trend, mid-50s for Friday. Sunshine during the daytime. Clouds quickly move back, along with showers Friday night into Saturday morning. Maybe a little late morning and afternoon sunshine Saturday. That allows us to warm into the upper 60s and lower 70s. And then late Saturday afternoon into Saturday night, we'll be watching for the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms, damaging straight line winds, the potential for flash flooding, and some degree of a tornado threat, all on the table with that. Rain in Sunday morning, cooler for next week. And then, yes, I know you've already seen social media rumors. We've been waiting and watching consistency, but it has been consistent across multiple models now, and consistent long enough to come into the 7-day period. So we have to address it. In addition to rain potential next Wednesday, next Thursday, we may have to watch for the potential for some wintry weather toward the middle of next week in the local area. Way too far out for details, way too far out to guess on if there's going to be accumulation or anything like that. There's no use in even trying to guess that right now. It's just something we'll have to watch. We will be ironing out those details as we head through the next several days. There's Look Your latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock with another check of your local weather.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.